have looked at training for building an actual query, and then we also looked at using to pull DSL accounts in that zip code. So in our final video for DSL accounts, we're going to, instead of just using a zip code, we're going to be more specific and add fiber-lit addresses into this category right here. So first step is to always click choose file and upload that query that we created in the original video and hit upload. And instead of doing location zip, we're going to add addresses in here. You can do up to 250 addresses. So what I like to do is go into your FBAT module, and just in case you're not sure how to pull that, I'll just show you real quickly. You would go into FBAT and go to FBAT building assignments and put in your information. And hit fiber-lit yes. And as always, just remember that our data is not always 100% accurate. So although we hit fiber-lit yes, just make sure you always check ASVQ to make sure there actually is fiber available there, because sometimes it will say GPON or fiber-lit and it's not actually. But just for the purpose of this training, we're going to pretend these are all accurate. So export this to Excel. And here is what it's going to look like. So the formatting is a little bit tricky to play with on SAART. So what we're going to do is transform the data in this column to look something like this, because remember in SAART, we always have to add that % sign at the end so that we can get all of the results, and it's not affected by like the word street or road. So basically, if you need some help on how to transform your data that looks like this into this, just let me know and I can help you with that on the side. It is really quick to learn, and basically it makes it a lot easier to copy and paste addresses, because if you try and copy and paste these types of addresses into SAART, it will kind of reject a lot of results just because the spelling of the street name. So get your data to look like this, and then we can copy up to 250 addresses. And then we're going to paste that into SAART under location address. And for just final filtering, I would take out all of the street names like street, road, parkway, avenue, all that stuff. And then basically what will happen now is it's going to pull a list of active DSL accounts that are located in these fiber-lit addresses. So just hit search. It's not going to yield as many results that we got using just a zip code, but it is a better list pool because we know that there's actually ABF and GPON available at these addresses, versus when we search just a zip code, those are just general DSL accounts. We don't really know if they're in a fiber-lit building. So we're going to export that to Excel. And although there's not that many addresses in this pool, what you want to do as a seller is create a master file. So rather than just pulling lists every single day and having 100 different Excel files in your downloads, keep doing this and keep pulling more and more lists, and have one general main file of accounts to cold call on, so that you can like have a section maybe over here with notes So for example, if we called this customer and left a voicemail, it's not really useful to just drop this account altogether. We would just leave a note here saying something like left voicemail, call again in 2 days. Just always create one master file so that you're not working with 100 different SAART pools, because then it becomes less effective because you're not calling the customer more than one time. If you have one master list, you'll remember to keep calling them or take them off the list if they advise you that they don't want the fiber internet. But for this purpose, we'll just look at this account right here. So Connie Tippett, here's her ban. We're going to pull that into EBV or CRM. So click find caller and put in the account ID, which is also the ban. So this is a good account to call because it looks like their network type is FTTN, which is VDSL. So what we're going to do is copy their account ID and go into EBV and just see what type of speed they're on. So it looks like they have a 25 by 5 megabit VDSL. So what we would do is call that customer at her billing contact phone number and just advise her that their business is still on AT&T's legacy products. They're on the copper services. We can get them AT&T fiber. And first, always just pitch ADI in every cold call you make. And then if you have to back down on price, go with our gold fiber pricing. And just one step to do before you cold call them is make sure their service address does qualify for fiber, because remember that our data from SBAT's not always accurate. So I just like to make sure before I call them that it actually is available there. So it looks like they qualify for GPON. So what I would do is call this phone number, pitch our gig by gig GPON fiber service, and basically get their speeds increased significantly, and you do get to SIP that wholesale. So that is a good way on how to cold call accounts that are at fiber lit addresses.